Welcome back, YouTube. My name is TayBikes28, and I am live here once again with the Toronto Huskies franchise. And that's right, it is about time for one of the biggest games of our season so far. But before we get into that, I gotta double check my audio. We got a couple things to do before we get into the game. And more importantly than anything, all right, we have to look at this injury decision, something we have not had to do a whole lot of here in the Toronto Huskies franchise. We've been pretty lucky in that, or on that side of things, I should say. But we finally have a decision to make, as I mentioned on the last episode, which if you guys have not checked that out, definitely go do so. You see in the top left-hand corner, Week 6 against the Raiders in the Black Hole, and we came out victorious. That's right, 27-17 was the final, and it was a good one. But I am very, very excited to get into this thing and really get things rolling here, because I feel like this is going to just be a good game. Think of the Colts games over the last 2 seasons that we've had in this Huskies franchise. Every single time we play the Colts, it comes down to the wire. It's usually a shootout, and something crazy always happens. For those of you that missed it, on, I believe, the very first season, okay, I believe it was week 12, maybe 11, we played the Indianapolis Colts, and that game had one of the craziest finishes I've ever seen in a Madden game. So definitely go check that out if you get a chance. But I'm going to explain what the Toronto Huskies franchise is real quick as I double check my audio, make sure everything sounds okay. Explain what the Toronto Huskies franchise and it sounds all right on my end, so hopefully it's all good for you guys. But the Toronto Huskies franchise is a little different than usual franchises. I'm going to do these upgrades while I talk about it. So the Huskies franchise is not a franchise where I play the game. What that means is this is a team building exercise for both you guys and myself. This is about putting the best product on the field and then just letting them do what they do. All right, not impacting the game itself at all. Okay, so what it really boils down to is how well can we put together a team that can win on its own without our help. Okay. We still make contract decisions and things like that, and you still see every snap of every game, and I commentate over it for you, but we do not play the games. It is a sim-based franchise, and so it's CPU versus CPU, and it is a lot of fun. If you guys have not tried, if you're really into team building or something like that, this is a great way to play the Madden games, especially nowadays with how broken Madden is. This is a really good way to play. And that's also why I'm playing on Madden 20 instead of a newer version, because Madden 20 was the last game that wasn't completely broken. Alright, so that is a big reason why I'm playing on Madden 20. But enough about that. The Toronto Huskies franchise here is sitting in week 7. And we got a big game this week against the Indianapolis Colts. 4-2 Indianapolis Colts against your 4-1 Toronto Huskies. And this is a battle for the AFC South lead. So that is going to be what we're jumping into. But an injury decision. With that in mind, do we bring Aaron Jones back? He broke his collarbone in week 1, and it's week 7. He has a chance to come back. The question is it worth it to bring him back and risk him getting hurt? Or do we just wait until week number 9 when he's supposed to come back? I think we go ahead and wait. The main reason being Latavius Murray has played phenomenal with Aaron Jones being out. So I think I'm going to roll with Latavius Murray. I believe that it's best to get Aaron Jones fully healthy, so when he does come back, we can keep him through the rest of the season and maybe even for a playoff run, depending on how things go. So let's go ahead and start Latavius Murray. So that's going to be decision number 1. And now, without waiting any longer, we can do contracts and scouting, all that afterwards. I want to get into this game. We are back at the Den. Very excited. Let's see if your Huskies can take the division lead. And obviously, we know this Colts team quite well. This is a Colts team that we've faced multiple times, and every single time they battle us tooth and nail. Even with some of our best performances as a team, this Colts organization always seems to get the last laugh. But maybe that changes today, as we are hosting up north in Toronto. The Indianapolis Colts are coming to town for an AFC South showdown. Those are not your commentators. My name is TayVikes28, and I'm going to be your commentator today in a rainy afternoon here in Toronto. But that is not going to stop anything, because these two teams are fired up. They're hungry. They are ready to take that division lead and head towards what could be a playoff spot for both of these teams. So let's get into things and see which team comes out on top. As you see both these squads getting ready, you got the star tight end who just got brought in this offseason, Travis Kelce, for your Toronto Huskies. And this is another Thursday night game, so very, very important for us to really get on top of the division now, so we have a good bit of rest, because we got 2 more division games after this, Texans and Titans. So 3 games in a row. Very important stuff. But enough about this. Let's get into things and see exactly how this game is going to go. But before we get into things, I do want to show you guys the depth chart for the opposing team. See what that's changed. Jordan Love is still their quarterback. For those of you that are wondering, Marcus Mariota is there as well. They've got Marlon Mack still as their running back. The duo of Mack and James White. You'll see both of them today. You got T.Y. Hilton still out there. Paris Campbell. They got drafted last season Jamal Burgess, a wide receiver who could end up being very big for this team. Really good T.Y. Hilton replacement, most likely. Then they did sign David Njoku to be the tight end, and they have a couple of great offensive linemen, one of the better offensive lines in football. And they still have some veterans like Justin Houston on this squad. DeForest Buckner in the middle has always been a force, and we always struggle with him. You got Darius Leonard as well as a pass rusher. Telvin Smith joined them after the Jaguars disbanded and the Huskies became a franchise. And then you got a couple of corners here, and Kenny Moore and Rockison, who are young but pretty good on the outside. And then you got Malik Hooker on the back end, as well as Kari Willis. So a lot of familiar faces on this team. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this thing and see exactly who will come out on top. As Rigoberto Sanchez is going to start us off here with a kickoff, and it is going to be well into the end zone, through the back of it, in fact. So we must have some wind here today in Toronto. That might be affecting some things. And as you see, Trevor Nickerson having one heck of a second-year jump here. A sophomore, not a sophomore slump, but a sophomore jump here in his second season. 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, over 1,400 yards already on the season. He has been a force. And he's going to start off with a handoff here to Latavius Murray, who doesn't get much room there. No gain on the play. But this Toronto offense, you know them quite well. They've got a young offensive unit, but a very, very productive one, as they've only gotten better as they've gotten older. They also brought in Travis Kelce this offseason, a big addition to this team, and someone who has really been a great developmental piece for none other than our second-year quarterback, Trevor Nickerson. And speaking of the devil, you see him catching a pass right there, Travis Kelce, that is. And I just showed you the Colts defense. They've got a lot of familiar faces on this defense. over the last season or two. Not a whole lot has changed, which is usually a sign of a good defense. And the Colts always play us really hard, so it makes a lot of sense. Especially the defensive front, they always get after us. So now it's 3rd and 7, though, at the 28-yard line. And Nickerson's going to drop back, throw over the middle, almost intercepted. That was a very dangerous pass there, as he is going to have to clean this up before we get in further into this game. As you see there, I don't know if it was the rain that made the ball a little slippery, so it came out a little off. I think I see what happened there. It looked like CeeDee Lamb, the intended target, slipped on his cut. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that throughout this day, as I feel like the weather could be a pretty impactful, I guess, piece of this divisional game here. And as you see, the Colts got that one out to the 28-yard line on the return, and that is where Jordan Love, who is also having another great season, 12 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, 4-to-1 ratio, that's good stuff, and over 1,200 yards. So the two of these quarterbacks they're both young, but both playing at a high level. And they're going to start off empty here, 5 wide on first down, as Love drops back and throws quick outside. That is going to be caught at the 31-yard line, but not much room from there, as it was a really nice play. And as I mentioned before, very, very good offensive line. So this is going to be an interesting battle up front, because we have one of the best defensive units in football in the Toronto Huskies going up against one of the best offensive lines in football, as Jordan Love has all the time in the world, eventually finding his target there underneath. That is going to be good for about 5 yards, setting up a 3rd and short here. And this defensive unit that I just talked about, one of the best in the league, and they are only getting better. Most of these guys are pretty young. You got a couple of veterans on each level that have helped develop a lot of these young players and into this great defense that they are today. So now it is 3rd and 1, and it is going to be a handoff here to Marlon Mack, who gets some nice room and breaking tackles. He's going to be breaking down the sideline, and he is gone. That is an Indianapolis touchdown, 64 yards, and you cannot let that sort of stuff happen. You got to wrap him up if you are Toronto, especially with the way the offense started today. This might be a problem. As I mentioned, this offensive line, one of the best units in the NFL. What a nice juke there, as Jalen Thompson just simply lost his ankles on that play. And then the finish by Marlon Mack to just outrun the defense. He's not necessarily a guy known for his speed, but he put on some wheels there and showed off what he can do. Great play by Marlon Mack, and that puts Indianapolis up 7-0 already, and it is only 8 minutes into this couple of minutes into this first quarter here. 8 minutes to go, in fact, and Toronto, they're going to need some help here if they plan on winning this game, especially from the offense. Let's see if this offense learns some things, though, from that first drive. And it's going to be a touchback here, making it a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. And this Toronto unit, despite being as young as they are, I feel like they have gelled quite well together and have learned with each other, which has really helped, I think, this young offensive unit that struggled through the first 2 seasons of this Toronto Huskies franchise. And even last year, our quarterback was statistically one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. But Nickerson, I saw flashes, and I feel like a lot of the fans saw flashes in him last season, and he is showing exactly what we saw. And another completion here on 2nd down. This time it's going to be to Travis Kelce, gain of about 2 yards. And that's going to set up a 3rd down here, as Kelce coming back to the ball, couldn't stop himself quite in time. Could have had a 1st down if he was able to do so. So now it is 3rd and 4 at the 31-yard line. Empty here for Nickerson, as he's going to drop back and under pressure, but gets the ball off. That is Travis Kelce over the middle. Good enough for a 1st down. And right now our quarterback is 4 for 5. And maybe Travis Kelce is his favorite option in this passing game nowadays. Although CeeDee Lamb still has a pretty good hold on the quarterback's eyes, one of his favorite targets as well. But in terms of a safety blanket, there's not much better than Travis Kelce. As now it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and powering his way forward to the 49-yard line is Latavius Murray, who has filled in phenomenally well for the injured Aaron Jones. And it was just mentioned earlier before this game that there was a decision made by the coaching staff for Toronto to hold back Aaron Jones, who the training staff said that he could be good enough to play today, but he wasn't 100%. So they decided to, instead of forcing him out there in a game that really Toronto needed to win, they are playing the long game here and trying to make sure Aaron Jones is 100% healthy. And for those of you that didn't get to see it earlier this season, Aaron Jones, on one of the first plays of the first game of the season, got hurt. In fact, he broke his collarbone and has been out ever since, and it has been Latavius Murray filling in wonderfully. As you see a third down here where you have a completion but no first down. That is Travis Kelce for about 2 yards on 3rd and 4. As Nickerson simply needed to get that ball off quicker if he was going to get that first down on that flat route. But as I was mentioning before, Aaron Jones was a very integral part of the team last season and was going to be another integral part this season. But then with the injury, and what a punt here, not to interrupt myself, but wow, Matt Hack pinning Indianapolis, coffin corning him and then pinning him inside the 5 down at the 2-yard line. I don't think we could have placed the ball any better. Impressive stuff. But as I was saying, Aaron Jones, he was looking to be another big part of this offense. And when he went down, there was a lot of question marks, because that first game, while Latavius Murray filled in admirably, he just wasn't quite the same type of impact player. But then in the leading weeks, once he got to practice with the first team and really got integrated into the offense, he became one of those top options in the offense and became a steady workhorse for this Toronto team. It's filled in really, really quite well. So here's 3rd and 9, and they're handing it off for a first down. So a nice play by the special teams unit, pinning the Indianapolis offense deep in their own territory. And a pretty good one, and they're going to actually get this one inside the 20. Interesting decision here, and instead of initially picking it up, Travis Etienne, the rookie running back, decided to let it bounce and then go back and pick it up. So interesting decision there. The rookie made a little bit of an error on judgment there. But it all worked out okay for Toronto as they take over at the 29-yard line, starting to run the football here, getting about 3 yards for Latavius Murray up to the 32-yard line. It's now to 2nd and 7, and they're in I formation, but it is going to be a pass here as over the middle, or excuse me, over to the left-hand side. That is a reception for a first down at the 44-yard line. CeeDee Lamb's first catch of the day goes for 12. And now it's empty here for Nickerson, and double teaming up the middle on their best pass rusher, DeForest Buckner. Good decision there, as it looked like it was completed, but unable to get the feet in bounds was the intended target. So now quick throw outside to CeeDee Lamb, but unable to make the quick turn and get any yardage, actually loses a yard or two on that play. So now just setting up a 3rd and 11 at the 42-yard line. It's going to be a big play here for Toronto. They need to get some points on the board. They can't continue this trend of punting the football and expecting to win. So now they're spreading it out 4 wide here, 3rd and 11. As I mentioned, a fake to the running back, and it is going to be thrown. Oh my goodness, almost intercepted, not once, but twice on that play. Nickerson, with the decision-making today, just hasn't been top notch like he has been most of the season. Don't know if it's the weather or what, but he threw that directly to the defender there. He may just have not even seen the defender on that one. So now it is 4th and 11, and Matt Hawk is going to be punting this one away again. And once again, a nice punt. The question is, are they going to stop it in time? And they do! What a great play by the special teams unit, getting it down at the 1-yard line. I don't even think it was the 1-yard line. It was more like the 1-inch line. And this is a phenomenal start for the Toronto special teams and an opportunity for Toronto's defense to score some points here. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and getting a couple there is Marlon Mack out to the 4-yard line. So it's setting up a 2nd and 6 here. Going in I formation with some extra bodies. Big bodies on the field there as Marlon Mack gets swallowed up, though, with a gain of about 1 yard. So now it is 3rd and 5. And it's going to be a fullback dive. That one is going to surprise the defense just enough to get pretty good yardage out of it. About 12 or 13 yards there, all the way out to the 18-yard line. And just like that, Indianapolis has some breathing room. And that one even took me by surprise. Good play call, though, by Indianapolis to get that first down. So now Jordan Love under center is going to again hand it off, and once again this defense is not letting Marlon Mack do much. So they are now setting up a 2nd and 8. And it's going to be another handoff, this time a little bit of a delayed handoff. Good move there by James White. First carry on the day for him as he gets about 2 yards. So now it's 3rd and 6, another 3rd down opportunity for this Toronto defense. Can they capitalize, though? And it's going to be a quick throw, and that is almost intercepted. There's been a lot of errant passes today. I really think this weather is getting to these quarterbacks. And we aren't even out of the first quarter. As you see Jordan Love, I think that was intended for Jamal Burgess, if I'm not mistaken, but that was just a tough pass there behind him, and just not a very accurate ball, I should say. And what a punt here from Indianapolis, as that's going to be down to the 4-yard line. Some special team dimes from both of these teams today. That is the 3rd punt inside the 5 between these two teams. So now Toronto's setting up at the 4-yard line. Roles have been reversed here to start the second quarter. It's going to be a handoff as Latavius Murray gets a couple here out to the 6-yard line, getting some extra breathing room. So now Nickerson setting up at the 6-yard line. It's going to be a pass, and he's under pressure, and he's going to go down for a safety as the man comes through untouched. That's right, Justin Houston, former Kansas City Chief, now finding some second life here with Indianapolis as he gets a nice play there on Trevor Nickerson, who is just barely into the end zone. But that's going to be good enough for 2 more points on the board for Indianapolis as they lead now 9-0. And now their offense has an opportunity to extend this lead to possibly a 2-score lead. Or did I say a 2-score? I meant a 3-score lead. So now it is 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. In the gun is Jordan Love. Couple receivers to the left-hand side. And it's going to be a handoff, though, up the middle. That is going to be James White getting a couple of yards out to the 27-yard line. Now setting up a 2nd and 7 as James White has had a pretty good role here in Indianapolis. As you see, doing the thing that he does best, catching passes there out of the backfield. As that one, I think, though, was... Yes, it was, in fact, James White. And that is something that he got really good at out there in New England and what he was known for out there with the Tom Brady-led Patriots. But now in Indianapolis, he continues to do that role quite well as a nice complementary piece to Marlon Mack, the power back for this Colts offense, making a really great two-back system for them. And as you see, another good completion over the middle for the Indianapolis Colts. As that time, I believe it was Paris Campbell with the reception, going for a first down as well. So that's going to set up a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And Love's going to fake the handoff and instead go with a quick pass here out to the 50-yard line is T.Y. Hilton. I almost said Tyreek Hill. T.Y. Hilton out to the 50-yard line, setting up a 2nd and 2 now. It's going to be a fake to the running back and deep over the middle. That is caught at the 36-yard line. A jumping catch there by David Njoku, the tight end. And now a handoff by to Marlon Mack. Gain of about a yard there. Not much room as they've really shut down Marlon Mack outside of that one big run. So now it is 2nd and 8 at the 35-yard line. And again, it is going to be going to Marlon Mack. And this time it's James White. And getting about 5 yards on that carry. So it's setting up a 3rd and 3. And they're officially in field goal range here. And it's going to be an interesting play there as the quarterback slips and somehow gets the ball off, though, to the running back out of the backfield, but nowhere to go as Marlon Mack actually loses a yard there. But very lucky that Jordan Love didn't go down. And a heads-up play by Marshawn Lattimore to make that tackle. So now it is Dustin Hopkins setting up for a field goal attempt here. And that is actually short. Looks like the wind must be blowing pretty significantly out there in Toronto as that just knocks down that kick from Hopkins, who has a pretty good leg. But that one, as you can see, was significantly short. So that's going to give Toronto another little bit of life here. An opportunity to cut this lead down, score 9-0 to start this one out. But Nickerson and company have an opportunity here as they're going to start off with a run and trying to power his way forward is Latavius Murray, maybe getting a yard out of that. So now it's going to be another handoff as Murray, with a little bit of a spin move, gets forward to the 44-yard line. That one's going to be good for about 5 or 6 yards. So now empty here on 3rd down as Nickerson drops back and throws quickly, but completes it. And down the sideline goes T. Higgins with his first catch of the day, getting out to the 42-yard line and in plus territory. As that one goes for 14 yards and sets up another Toronto first down. And T. Higgins has really developed quite nicely over the last season and a half, and he's slowly become a solid number 3 receiver in this offense. So now it is going to be 1st and 10 at the 42, though, as you have a throw deep over the middle, as that one is just a little errant, and that's going to fall incomplete, luckily. So now it is 2nd and 10. Handoff to Murray up the middle, as that's going to get a pretty good yardage there out to the 35. It's going to be good enough for about 7 yards. It's now 3rd and 3 at the 35-yard line. And it's going to be a fake to the running back here as Nickerson is under pressure and he goes down at the 44 as Tyler Davison with the sack, as that was going to most likely knock... Yes, it is going to knock Toronto out of field goal range, as Nickerson should have just gotten rid of the football at that point. But he was looking downfield trying to make a play happen, but sometimes the smart play is just to get rid of the football. And that's something that a young quarterback like Nickerson will learn over time. Wow. They are attempting a 61-yard field goal here, and that is no good off the off the post, I believe. Wow. That goes off of the post and through, but under the crossbar. Interesting. I haven't seen that one before. As he almost made a 61-yard field goal, but unfortunately that sets up Indianapolis in great field position. And now it's going to be a handoff on first down for them, and that is going to be getting out to the 44-yard line. Just like that, they're already in plus territory. 2nd and 5 now. Empty backfield for Indianapolis as Jordan Love's going to drop back and quickly throw over the middle. That is caught, and that is good enough for a first down, as I believe that was Jamal Burgess with the catch. So now 1st and 10. Love's going to throw quickly, but incomplete there. Inaccurate pass. T.Y. Hilton was the intended target there. So now it's 2nd and 10. And a handoff once again up the middle, as this is going to be good for another 5 yards. Marlon Mack puts him officially in field goal range now. It's now 3rd and 5. Jordan Love is not going to get a playoff before the 2-minute warning. So we'll have some time to think about it here. And I have to say, I've been very impressed with Jordan Love since he came here to the Colts. He has filled in perfectly. And what a play here, completed all the way down to the 6-yard line, as that was Paris Campbell showing off the speed. That's going to set up a 1st and goal here at the 6-yard line. But as I was saying, I'm very impressed with what Jordan Love has done. He's filled in quite well and really been the first quarterback that this Indianapolis team can count on since Andrew Luck, really. So now it is 1st and goal, though, as Love's going to throw to the end zone, and that is good for a touchdown. As I believe that is David Njoku, the tight end, with the reception. Touchdown reception there over the middle. And just like that, Indianapolis showing off exactly how much of a difference there is between these two squads. It's now 1:32 to go in this half. Toronto needs points on the board, or the score is 16-zip after that extra point. And they desperately need something before halftime. And they're going to return this from the 10-yard line out past the 30 to the 32. So pretty good field position here for Toronto. Let's see what Nickerson can do with 1:29 on the clock. Can he lead a 2-minute offense down the field here against a pretty stout Indianapolis defense? Well, they're going to go 4 wide here to start things off. And low snap, and it is actually a handoff, as that is going to be Latavius Murray up to the 38-yard line. They're going no huddle. Now is 6 yards on first down, and again a handoff up the middle. Again, Latavius Murray powering his way through defenders. And that is going to be a Huskies timeout near the minute mark, as that is exactly with a minute to go. So now they're spreading it out at the 48-yard line. Nickerson's going to take the snap, have some time, but eventually that time runs out, as that is Justin Houston with the sack. Another timeout from Toronto. 3rd sack on the day for Indianapolis. So now it is 2nd and 20, and Nickerson under pressure again, and he is going down again, losing, I think, total of 21 yards, I believe, between the last 2 plays. So now it is 3rd and 31, as Indianapolis took a timeout that time. And now running the football is Toronto, forcing Indianapolis to take another timeout here. So now it's going to be Indy trying to put some more points on the board before halftime. And boy, did that one blow up in Toronto's face. And what a kick here into the end zone for a touchback. So now Jordan Love is leading his squad back out on the football field, trying to talk to his number one receiver, T.Y. Hilton, to figure out the game plan here. With only one timeout and 38 seconds to go, they're going to try and put some points on the board. As it is Love dropping back and just dumping this one off, and that's going to be a good tackle for Toronto, and that probably will end things here. They might get one more play off. And they go ahead and run this one, and getting stuffed immediately, actually losing a yard, is James White. And that's going to lead us to halftime with the score 16-zip here in Toronto. And Toronto is not doing so hot in this first half. Might be weather related, or it might simply be they are outmatched. We will have to wait and see. But let's take a look around the league, look at some games this week. As you see, the Tennessee Titans will be hosting the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is an interesting one because this is the Chiefs without Mahomes, remember, so maybe the Titans will end up with a victory there. And then we also have a couple of games including the Lions and Seahawks, which could have some playoff implications there, as the Lions are going out west. And speaking of out west, you have a divisional matchup on Sunday Night Football between the Rams and the Niners. That one should be a good one, with also some playoff implications. And as we look towards the second half in our game, it looks like Toronto is going to be trying to make a second half comeback, as it has been all Indianapolis through this first half. And let's see what happens coming out of the second half. That is Toronto kicking off to Indianapolis, and they are going to take this for a touchback. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line for Indy, leading by 16 with an opportunity here to extend that by even more. This is a situation where Toronto's defense almost has to make a stop. They can't let this get into a 3-score game. So now Love drops back, and quick throw as that one is knocked down by Quincy Williams. Nice play there by the linebacker, getting his hands on the football. So now it is 2nd and 10. Empty backfield here. Quick throw to the left-hand side, and again getting some hands on the football. This time it is Jalen Thompson making the play in the secondary. And now it's 3rd and 10. 3 receivers to the right-hand side for Love, as he's going to take this and look quickly and then just dump it off. And that is going to be for no gain. And a nice little 3-and-out from Toronto's defense. That's something we haven't seen a whole lot of. Maybe there's been some second half adjustments here made, as they desperately needed them. Hopefully this defense can look more like its usual self here. So now Rigoberto Sanchez is going to punt this one away. And it is going to be a fair catch called at the 31-yard line for Travis Etienne. And that is going to be where the Toronto offense has another opportunity to cut this lead down. Let's see if they can capitalize. Hopefully some changes have been made at halftime for this Toronto offense. And they're going to start off with a handoff over to the right-hand side. That is going to be good enough for about 3 yards, maybe 2. So now 2nd and 8. They're going to put a man in motion from left to right. And it is going to be another handoff, and this time getting stuffed is Latavius Murray, as he has multiple people in the backfield with him, but still able to gain about a yard. So now it's 3rd and 7, as Nickerson's going to take this one and have time, and eventually dropping this one in, but unable to get it to the receiver as the defender gets a hand on it there. And that might be another 3 and out, this time from Toronto. So now Matt Hawk with the punt here, and it's a doozy as it goes through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now Indianapolis back on the football field. A couple of 3 and outs here to start this second half. Maybe these defenses have figured a few things out at halftime to be able to shut down these offenses, as well Toronto was already getting shut down, but speaking in terms of Toronto's defense, as we see a nice throw outside, and that is intercepted by Toronto. That is Richie Branch with the interception. He read that like a book. Nice play with getting the feet down and everything on the sideline there, as Jordan Love finally makes a very bad decision there. You see it came out a little wobbly, and I'm thinking that the weather is getting the best of these quarterbacks in this one, as that is going to put the offense in field goal range with an opportunity to put some more on the board here at the 27-yard line. So now Toronto is going to be handing this one off up the middle. Getting out to the 24 is Latavius Murray, who's closing in on 50 yards on the day. So now it is 2nd and 7, going empty backfield here for Nickerson, as he's going to drop back. And quick throw over the middle that is caught for a first down by Travis Kelce. So now it is 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. And now they're going to go back to the running game here. Getting a couple is going to be Latavius Murray out to the 13, setting up another 2nd and 7 here. And sticking with their ground game, though, is Murray up the middle to the 8 now, inside the 10. Setting up a nice 3rd and 2 here for Toronto, as Nickerson's going to take the snap and throw over the middle, as that one just simply faded into the back of the end zone where no one was at. And I'm not sure if that was an overthrow intended for Travis Kelce or what, but it was definitely not good, I can tell you that much, as Josh Lambo is going to be setting up for a short field goal here. And that is good, putting Toronto on the board finally. Just inside 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, as Toronto now has a 3-16 deficit. And a big kick here going through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now Indianapolis is going to have to figure some things out. First they come out with a 3 and out, then they turn around and turn the football over. This hasn't been a very kind beginning to the second half for Indianapolis. As now Jordan Love's going to throw outside, and this time it is the receiver tapping the toes on the sideline, as that was T.Y. Hilton with the reception. So now 2nd and 5 as Love throws over the left-hand side this time, and that is caught on the sideline again at the 39-yard line, and that is Paris Campbell this time. Missouri just utilizing the sideline to perfection, and a quick throw outside as Campbell has nowhere to go, though, losing 3 yards on the play. Good play by Toronto's defense there. Now setting up a 2nd and 12 at the 36-yard line. And it's going to be a handoff over to the right-hand side. Breaking a tackle and stumbling his way forward is Marlon Mack, getting up to the 42-yard line. Now setting up a more manageable 3rd and 7 here for the Colts. Let's see if Jordan Love can convert as he takes the snap, throws over the middle, and that is, or excuse me, over to the left-hand side. That is caught by T.Y. Hilton down at the 33-yard line, and that's going to be pushing field goal range with this wind. So Toronto still has an opportunity to shut Indianapolis out off the scoreboard here. As Love's going to be in the gun here on this first down. It's going to be a fake to the running back. Quick throw, and that is caught by T.Y. Hilton again. This time it goes for 7 yards, and that should get them in field goal range. So now it is 2nd and 3 at the 25-yard line. And a handoff here up the middle and getting stuffed, actually. Nice play by Quincy Williams to get in there and make the tackle. So it's going to be a 3rd and 1 at the 24-yard line. As Love's going to elect to pass. Quick throw over the middle that is caught at the 19-yard line. As that is Travis Fulgham with the reception. Former Eagle. It's now in the red zone as Indianapolis sets up at the 19-yard line. Love's going to take the snap and is trying to set up a screen pass here. He completes it, and with some blockers, that's right, James White, the receiving back, making a nice play down the sideline and setting up a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. And a good play there by the Colts offensive line to get out there and make some blocks. Could have been a touchdown, but it's now 1st and goal, spreading it out wide here at the 3-yard line. As Love's going to drop back. Quick throw over the middle. That is incomplete. In and out of the receiver's hands there. So now looks like they're going to be going back to the running game here on 2nd and goal. As they're in I formation. And it is, in fact, a run outside. And great blocking up front is going to lead to another Indianapolis touchdown. And that's going to give them a 23-3 lead pending the extra point. And a great way to seal the edge there. As Marlon Mack could have probably ran for 100 yards on that play. Oh, they're going for 2 here. And it's going to be Jordan Love throwing over the middle, and that is going to be knocked down by the defender. So saving at least a point or two is Toronto's defense. So now it is 22-3 Indianapolis. 19-point game right now. .227 to go in the 3rd quarter here, and Toronto needs more than a field goal on this drive. Time is starting to run out on them, and it is still a 3-score game right now. So starting out at the 33-yard line, Toronto's going to have 1st and 10 as Nickerson is going to throw quick here and complete to the tight end Travis Kelce out to the 29-yard line. Good enough for 6 yards there. That's his 6th catch on the day. And now it's going to be Nickerson dumping off to the the running back out of the backfield. That is Latavius Murray getting a couple of yards there. Setting up a 3rd and 1 now at the 41-yard line. And they're going with the running game here as Murray is powering his way forward all the way up to the 48-yard line. Murray's officially up to 63 yards on the day. Pretty good effort from him. So now it is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Continuing in I formation here. And it's going to be a fake to the running back, but under pressure. And that is going to be a sack for the safety, Kari Willis. And that is the 5th sack on the day for Indianapolis. As he comes through untouched, and Nickerson didn't even realize what was happening by the time Willis got there. It's now 2nd and 18, going empty backfield here. As Nickerson drops back and throws over the middle, that is caught sliding to make the catch is Jonnu Smith, the number 2 tight end, and what a play there by Jonnu Smith as the ball was a little behind him, but slides down to make the catch. And that's going to end the 3rd quarter with that play there. So it's going to have to be a massive 4th quarter comeback for the Huskies if they intend to win this game. Down by 19 at the beginning of the 4th quarter. So now Nickerson's going to take the snap and throw outside over the intended target's head, as that was Travis Kelce out there. So now 2nd and 10 here. 3 receivers to the right-hand side. And Nickerson's going to hand off up the middle, though, as Murray gets out to the 36-yard line. That's going to be good enough for 4 yards. So now 3rd and 6. As Nickerson's going to look to the left-hand side, and that is intercepted by Akilla Witherspoon, I believe. On the sideline, it was tough to see, but I believe Witherspoon came away with that ball. As I'm not sure what T. Higgins was doing. And what a play there. Witherspoon sliding that toe at the very last second. Nice little toe drag there on the pick. First turnover of the day for Toronto, and that's going to set up Indianapolis with 1st and 10 at the 31. And Marlon Mack has all sorts of room getting up to the 41-yard line for a 1st down, as he's over 100 yards on the day. So now I fully expect Indy to go into clock chewing mode here, as it's 1st and 10 with just inside 10 minutes to go in this game. And they're going to go with a quick throw here outside. That is caught at the 47. T.Y. Hilton again. So now 2nd and 4. This will be another handoff, and this time nowhere to go for James White, as he loses 2 yards on that play. As the Darius Evans seems to be making a couple of plays here in this game. It's now 3rd and 6 at the 46-yard line. Quick throw outside, that is caught, but nowhere to go for T.Y. Hilton, as he's actually going to lose a yard on that play. and that's going to set up a punt here from Indianapolis. As that punt goes out the back of the end zone, meaning Toronto's going to have 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line with under 8 minutes to go in the game. They need scores, and they need them now, as they're going empty backfield here on 1st down. Nickerson drops back, throws to the right-hand side. That is caught, and going down the sideline and eventually getting pushed out of bounds at the 39 is Jonnu Smith. The number 2 tight end continues to make plays. And a nice play there, or a nice throw there, I should say, by Trevor Nickerson. It's now going 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. As Nickerson's going to drop back, quickly throw over the middle, and that is incomplete. Heck of a play there by the defender in the middle. That is going to be perfectly timed collision to force the incompletion. And now a handoff here on 2nd down, and that is going to get maybe a yard, if that. It's now 3rd and 10 at the 39-yard line. Nickerson alone in the backfield, has all the time in the world, throws eventually to the left-hand side. That is caught for a 1st down and then some. That is CeeDee Lamb, who's been awfully quiet in this one, getting his 2nd catch of the day. It's going to put him up at the 42-yard line and in plus territory. Now 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line, continuing empty backfield here, as Nickerson's going to throw quickly underneath. That is going to be caught by Travis Kelce. As it looks like Bobby Okereke, the middle linebacker, is injured for Indianapolis, as he's walking off a little gingerly here. So now it's 2nd and 7 at the 40-yard line, as Nickerson's going to drop back and throw to the right-hand side. That is caught out there by all the way to the 20-yard line is T. Higgins, I should say, plus a face mask here against Kari Willis. That's going to give him some extra yardage all the way up to the 10-yard line now. A total of 30 yards on that play between the play itself and the penalty call there. So now it's 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line, as Nickerson's going to fake to the running back and throw to the right-hand side. That is caught, but nowhere to go, losing 6 yards on the play. It was Jonnu Smith, who would have been just better off dropping it on that one, but I like the effort, I suppose. It's now 2nd and 16 at the 16-yard line, just over 6 minutes to go, as Nickerson's going to take the quick snap and throw out to the 10-yard line, and that is Travis Kelce with the reception. Back to the original line of scrimmage now, and is 3rd and 10, as Nickerson's under pressure and throws to the end zone, beating the blitz perfectly. That is Michael Pittman Jr. with the touchdown on 3rd down. Perfect play call there against the blitz. And way to hang in there by Trevor Nickerson. Knowing the blitz was coming, he was able to still make that play, and that is going to give Toronto a 10-12 deficit now. So this game may not be over quite yet, as Josh Lambo is going to kick this one off, and they return from about the 10-yard line out to the 28 or 29-yard line for Indianapolis. So now Jordan Love, who's been okay today. Neither of these quarterbacks are having phenomenal days. It's a tough day in the rain, I guess, to pass the football. And that's why they're going to continue to run it here, is Indianapolis, as James White gets stuffed after a gain of about 1. So now it is 2nd and 9 here. And they're going with the pitch here outside and getting some room, but only about 6 yards is Marlon Mack. That sets up a 3rd and 3 here, and an opportunity for Toronto. And a quick throw, though, over the middle, and that is caught. Once again, it is this time Paris Campbell, his 5th reception on the day, and another first down by Indianapolis. These quick throws are killing this Toronto defense right now. It's now 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line, just under 4 minutes to go, as Love's going to take the snap and throw it, and that is, I don't think it was caught. I thought it was for a second, but it gets juggled around between a couple of different players and eventually finds its way to the ground. And now a handoff up the middle, that is going to be James White sneaking his way up to the 49-yard line, a gain of 5 yards. So now they're going empty backfield on 3rd and 5 here. Big play for Toronto's defense, as Jordan Love throws over the middle. That is caught, though, by David Njoku, his 5th catch of the day. And you can just slowly feel this game slipping away from Toronto. As that's going to be pretty close to a pretty close to a field goal range here for Indianapolis, with the wind in their favor. So they're going to go back to the running game here, as Marlon Mack is powering his way up to the 34-yard line. Gain of 5 yards there. It's now 2nd and 5, but it is going to be the 2-minute warning before we get that play off. So now 2 minutes to go, 12-point deficit here, and continuing to run the football is Indianapolis, who does get stuffed for a gain of about 2. So it's going to set up another 3rd down here for Toronto, who just hasn't been able to get off the field on 3rd down. It's been a massive problem, but this time they do, as Toronto takes a timeout. And now, Indianapolis and Dustin Hopkins have a field goal attempt here to make it a 15-point game, and that is good. So it is a 15-point game with 1:50 to go. As Rigoberto Sanchez kicks this one off. And it's going to be a touchback for Toronto. And they need nothing but touchdowns at this point. It's now 1:50 to go. Let's see what Nickerson can do. They need some quick scores here. Motioning a man out of the backfield. As it's going to be a quick throw underneath. Travis Kelce breaking a tackle, but not much there, only about 3 yards. As Nickerson's going to drop back once again, throwing it over the middle, and that time it is caught at the 34-yard line. It's now 3rd and 1 at the 34-yard line. Nickerson's going to drop back again over the middle, again caught, this time out to the 43. 50 seconds to go here. As Nickerson drops back once more, throws again over the middle, and this time incomplete though, as he overthrew his intended target there. So now it is 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line. Nickerson drops back, has time, and eventually gets it off to T. Higgins over the middle. It's going to be good enough for a first down, but time is running out for this Toronto team. As Nickerson drops back once more, throws over the middle, again caught, and that is going to be the final timeout from Toronto. 19 seconds to go. Needing 15 points. Seems like all hope is lost. And it's going to be a throw out of the backfield as Latavius Murray is running home like Forrest Gump. But anyways, it is 3rd and 4 here, as Nickerson has all the time in the world, throwing deep downfield. That is caught for a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 38 yards. And don't say never. What a play there. One-handed over the defender, as Nickerson just says, screw it, throwing it up for Lamb in a one-on-one. 10 seconds to go here. They're going for the point after to make it an 8-point game with 10 seconds left. Can they get the onside kick? That is the question. And where was that efficiency all game long from Toronto's offense? That's what I want to know. It was just completion after completion after completion. So here's Josh Lambo with the attempt, and it is going to be picked up by Indianapolis, and that will end it. Setting up in victory formation as Indianapolis takes the first meeting here in this season and also takes the division lead, as your Huskies just simply didn't show up today offensively, and really defensively they didn't show up either. It was just an all-around struggle. The score looks closer than it was, but really it was not much of a great performance from either sides of the football team today. As you see, they're going home a little dejected after laying a dud for the home team. Final score 25-17. And that means your Toronto Huskies will fall to 2nd in the division after this week. So let's go ahead and jump into the negotiations here. Get hopefully some positive news, as I believe we're going to go ahead and try and get Quincy Williams and Jedrick Wills signed long term. So Wills wanted some extra salary here, and he's already fairly cheap for a tackle, so I don't mind giving him $25 million. I think that's pretty fair, and we are able to get the deal done, keeping him around for about 4 years. Now Quincy Williams just overall wants more money, period. And that's a pretty hefty contract for Quincy Williams, but he has been quite good for us. So we're going to go ahead and give him some added money, up to $47.8 million for 4 years, and he does like that contract. So we are able to get Quincy Williams and Jedrick Wills signed long term. And now we just have some veterans here that we'll have to decide on at the end of the season. And a couple of guys here down the lines with some depth positions, as well as Nick Harris in the middle. We'll have to decide if we want to continue moving forward with him or look to get better at that position. And then let's go ahead and scout some more players, as I think maybe scouting some centers wouldn't be a bad idea if in case we do move on from Nick Harris, as we found one here that looks pretty good. But not much else. Maybe we could move a guard to center, as we have a pretty good player there in Jonathan Reed. Alright, that is going to round out the scouting for this week. So we're going to go ahead and advance and see what we've got in store for next week. Another divisional opponent. This time it'll be the Houston Texans. As the Texans are sitting at 4-2, and we see Aaron Jones is back. That is big. Aaron Jones is officially back, coming back a week early, actually. So sitting him out was the right call, I believe. As you see, the Indianapolis Colts taking the division lead here at 5-2, as we're sitting at 4-2, a game or a half game back, I guess you could say. So we will have to see how the season unfolds here, as next week we've got the Houston Texans and a breakout player here. We'll have to find out. To tune in next time to find out exactly who that is. If you can guess by the picture, I think I know. Let's see if you guys do. So breakout opportunity. We got some upgrades to do. Aaron Jones will be back. The team should be pretty well healthy heading into this game. So this is going to be another big... the stretch of 3 or 4 games here are going to be massive for the outlook of the division. As we lost the first game, but if we can rattle off 2 wins here in weeks 8 and 9 and then get another win in week 11 against the Texans, we'll be looking pretty ironic for the playoff race. So let's keep an eye on how things are going to be going on that front. But until then, my name is Tavikes28. I thank you guys for watching, and make sure to tune back in for Week 8 against the Houston Texans.